for joining me again. Today, got a little challenge on the garage lighting. I've got some old strip lights, some old fluorescent tubes. One of them, it's like should have gone down with the Titanic. It's that old. But what we've got here is one of these new latest design LED strip lights. So I'm hoping I can whip down the old fluorescent tube, take down the whole thing, and replace it with one of these. I've never changed one of these. I don't know how they come, what you get with it. I'll put a link in the description, so if you like it and you want to get one, fill your boots. They're on Amazon at the minute, and let's have a little look in here. Now, they're not that expensive. These, originally, this kind of thing was really dear, like, you know, over 100 quid. This I got for less than £25. So, first impressions of that, it don't look too bad. Is that everything out of the box? I was expecting a plasticky, chintzy looking thing, but this has got an aluminium casing on it, which looks quite nice. Let's have a quick sip of my old there. Put that over there a minute so I don't knock it over. Right, and let's get this plastic coating off of here. Let's see what we've got inside. Because there can't be too much to it. Now this is, again, you know, it's 240 volts. You should be able to wire it up to your mains without too much problem. And it's hopefully going to be as bright as what the fluorescent tube was. It's saying it's 22 watts. So, you know, for an LED, that's quite considerable. So it should be pretty bright. Let's have a look and see, shall we? Let's see what we get in the packaging. Bit of a pull. We're getting the plastic off. Okay, so it looks like the driver's down this end, and nice and simple. There's no earth on this. Looking at that, it looks like it's a straightforward neutral and a live. Come on. Get in there already. What's going on? Talk about taking your time to get the packaging off. It's only a little bit of plastic. I know we should have got a knife. Right over there. There we go. We're off. Right then. So we get this. Looks like a set of fitting instructions there. We've got the screws to mount it to something. We can slide those along. Does that squeeze together then so that comes out? Yes. Aha! We're figuring this out. So it's got these fancy little plastic things on here. So you squeeze the plastic together. Is it plastic? I think it's aluminium. You squeeze it together, releases the two hangers. You screw those to your rafter, to your beam or whatever. And once it's in, you just click it back in again. Down this end here, we've got another little screw tab for some wires to go through. Let's whip that little panel off there and we should get us live and neutral. Let's have a little look inside there. If we just undo those screws, I think this little cover's going to come off with a bit of luck. Unless you actually go around the screw. I ain't got a clue. We'll have a look. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's going to come off. So, there we go. Look, so the little cover comes off the cap, and inside there, you can see we've got the little terminal, little screw connector block with the brown and the blue. So that is it. That is as live and neutral straight onto there from the existing socket with a bit of luck. Screw that up, and how nice and tidy does that look? It looks really clean. It's a really clean. It would be if I got rid of a bit of plastic. It's a really clean looking light. Let's just hope it's got some brightness with it. Let's get up there. We'll get the old one down and we'll get the new one up. Right, so here we go, up the ladders. This is the old dodgy light. So if you've got the fluorescent tube inside there, you just literally pull the tabs away at the end and pop the bulb out. Nice and easy. So we're down to this point. This one has these two like flip releases. So we push that one, this bit drops down here, and that one there. Obviously making sure that the power's turned off. if you haven't done so already, before we get into the mucky bits. And inside here we've got power wires into a connector block there, which is going off to this gubbins up here, but we just got to literally disconnect this from the wire that's coming in just there and into this block here. The middle one is connecting the earth to the light itself, so if I do that and pull that whole thing will come out now. So there's this nice connector block that we're just going to disconnect this cable from. I'll just snip those away because I can redo the connections on them. So we'll get rid of that one, we'll get rid of that one, and we'll get rid of that one. And there it is. So that's the wires away now from the light. I've got my gloves on because whenever I'm dealing with electrics, I know things are switched off and stuff, but even so, they just save you getting a whack. They're brilliant. So let's whip this light unit down then. That's one. Big old screws, aren't they? That's that there. And now this can come down. The old light assembly out there. Right, let's whip this out then. So we'll get the bulb out of there. And what I'm hoping to do is to use this, I should just rewire that into the light with a bit of luck. If I have to extend it, I can do. Let's have a look. So we unscrew the base of that. Unscrew the top of that. It reveals the wiring and the connectors. There, I'm going to hook those from that. And just pull them round like that. And there we have his little wires there. Get a little screwdriver. And we can pop those out of there. There's one out. There's two out. And pop that off the bottom as well. Oh, we've got a little clamp there, so we'll pull the clamp off first and pull the wire off. We can just line this up to where we think we're going to go with it. So I'm thinking it's going to go across that way like that, across those two there. And the wire is coming in just there, so that should go round and in nicely. I think there'll be enough there. So let's just connect those up to the light. I'll do you a real good close-up of this connector plug here. If I just whip those two screws out that casing again, and you can get a really good idea as to what you're going to get inside. So that just comes off there, and there's your little connector plug. That plug just pops out. You just grab hold of it and pull it off the prong to make it easier to screw into. So you just pull that out with your fingers, and there you go now, look. So we can undo those two little screws on there, and it makes it able to get the wires into it. I'll try and do it so you can see what I'm doing. I'll try and keep my hand out of the way if possible. The reason I didn't put gloves on this one was because the fluorescent light unit, the original one, has got capacitors in it, and they hold the charge. Obviously now we're just dealing with a bulb. There's no charge in the system, so I'm not so fussed about getting a belt off it. You just push those two wires in there, get them in nicely, and then screw the two threads up. Screw that connector block up, get those in nice and tight, and hopefully that's clear. And it's probably easier to do it like this than me to show you trying to fiddle about on the roof. And then put the cap back on, push that back in, locate it, and the cap actually traps the wires and stops it from coming out. Located there like that. And feed the wire down. Don't drop the screw. Drop the screw. I was thinking to myself, I mustn't drop that screw.
So, of course, you drop it, don't you? The reason that this hasn't got an earth wire on it, I was reading the instructions and it says that the light unit is double insulated and that's why it doesn't need an earth. So the casing is metal, it is an aluminium casing, but it's double insulated on the electrics and it doesn't need an earth wire.
Okay, now, there we go, that's on nice and tight. Now we just need to get these clips in the right place where we want them. And a couple of screws in there. Lock that up to that, slide them along a bit, because that's going to be pretty close to that.
Where would we be without impact drivers? Can you remember the days where you had to use a screwdriver to screw screws in? Oh, look at that, delightful.
There we go, that ain't going nowhere. That's one of them.
Such a good bit of kit. Saves all that hassle of screwing screws in.
And then we can clip this back up again. Tucking that into the channel. That's one. Two, and then we can just make sure we're happy with everything. Looks good. And we can turn the light back on. Bingo. Oh, look at that sucker. Delightful. Okay, this new one is half the size, half the weight. Well, not even half. It's so light, it's ridiculous. And that's going to go back in its place up there like that. And I can now set this up to go where I need to go. We've got a massive channel inside of here, so I can reconnect that up without any bother at all. It's going to be lovely to hide any wire that I don't need. Flick the power back on. There it is. How nice is that? And there we have it. A nice new light up. Looking really nice. Really brightened up this end of the garage. And it was a nice easy retro fit just to swap it over. So I'm really pleased. So as you can see, I was that impressed with these lights that I bought another two and replaced them. So now I've got three of these beautiful LED strip lights, really making a nice atmosphere in the garage. If this video has been of use, I'll drop all the links in the description for these lights into the Amazon shop. Yeah, they are fantastic. And there's no flicker, so even under the camera light, they're a really good stable light, which is excellent for the recording. So yeah, drop me some comments, cheeky little thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.